All right, let's get right into it. This is probably one of the biggest debates in health, right? Exercise versus diet. We all kind of know both are important, but when it comes to losing weight, what actually matters more? Where should you really be putting your effort?
So let's put it this way. If you had to pick just one for weight loss, what would it be? Hitting the gym hard or getting your meals on point? Which one's going to give you the biggest return on your investment of time and energy? Well, that's exactly what we're going to figure out right now. Okay, so to really get to the bottom of this, we've got to talk about the basic math of it all. At the end of the day, weight loss is really just a simple, though, not always easy, energy equation. First up, let's talk about the calories out part of the equation, exercise. Think about it. To burn off just a couple hundred calories, you're looking at a solid 20-minute run or maybe an hour of surfing. And that's not even counting the whole ordeal of, getting to the gym, changing, working out, showering. It's a huge chunk of your day. All right, so remember that effort, that 20-minute run. Now let's flip the coin and look at the other side, calories coming in. And what's a better, more tempting example than that little treat staring at you in the checkout aisle? And here's where it gets, well, kind of mind-blowing. To work off that one little chocolate bar, we're talking 200 calories, you'd need to walk for about an hour, an entire hour. Or you could just not eat it. I mean, when you put it like that, the path of least resistance is pretty clear, isn't it? Which one of those sounds easier? Let's try another one. You could force yourself to run for 30 minutes every single day. That's a serious commitment. Or you could get pretty much the same result by just skipping 2 cans of soda. That's it. So many of us have these little high-calorie things we could easily cut out, and it would save us so much sweat and time. Okay, so these examples make a pretty strong case, right? But hey, this isn't just about, common sense or simple math. The science, the actual studies, they tell the same story. So let's take a look at what the research really says. And what's crazy is how consistent the findings are. So get this. One huge analysis looking at kids found that their physical activity level wasn't the main thing deciding their weight. That's huge. It means something else, like diet, was way more important. And it's not just kids. A study with over 3,000 adults found that the people who successfully kept weight off for the long haul, they were the ones who focused on cutting calories, more so than just exercising. But maybe the real shocker is this. When you look around the world, physical activity levels are surprisingly similar between industrialized and developing nations. That pretty much tells us that a lack of exercise probably isn't the main bad guy behind modern obesity rates. So I know what you're thinking. After hearing all that, it's super tempting to just say, great, I can quit the gym, but hold on, no, that would be a huge mistake. Absolutely not. Here's the really important part. We have to separate two different goals, losing weight and just being healthy. They're related, for sure, but they're not the same thing. And when we're talking about overall health, well, exercise is completely non-negotiable. I mean, the things exercise does for your body have almost nothing to do with the number on a scale. It's incredible. We're talking about stuff like literally slowing down the aging process in your cells. It's also one of the best things you can possibly do for your mental health. At the end of the day, if you want the best long-term results, you need both, a healthy diet and regular exercise. They're the ultimate power couple. All right, so we've looked at the effort, we've looked at the science. Let's boil it all down to the bottom line. What's the main takeaway here? If you're standing at the starting line right now, what's your best first move? And here it is. This is the heart of it all. Even though exercise is absolutely essential for your health, if your number one goal is to lose weight, you're going to get way more bang for your buck by focusing on your diet first. It's just the most powerful tool you have in your toolbox for that specific job. So I want to leave you with this question. This isn't about some massive, radical life change tomorrow. Not at all. But just thinking about everything we just talked about, what's one small thing, one tiny change you could make to what you eat starting today?